This is already the 10th episode of the cut content of Counter-Strike, so I guess it's time for a special episode. We are going to take a look at a very early version of Counter-Strike Source, from a time when Counter-Strike just made the jump from the Half-Life 1 engine to Source. This pre-alpha of Counter-Strike Source was leaked alongside the Half-Life 2 beta and is anything but complete. The first thing to notice is the main menu, which features a Half-Life 2 logo in the bottom right corner and an Ultra HD version of the 1.6 background. The whole menu is very close to the Steam version of 1.6 in Half-Life 1, and it features the option to start a new game and to load a save game. However, these buttons have no function and are just the remainder of the game the CSS alpha was based on. At the time they were working on this CS version, today's established source menu structure did not exist, and the graphic options did not include most of the parameters we are used to today. You simply have the option to change the resolution and the driver, which is, by the way, possible in the Gold Source engine, but not in the Source engine. Even though it is possible in these options, changing the driver will result in a crash. Generally speaking, this early version of Counter-Strike runs very unstable. This version of CS comes with 5 different maps, 3 of which are simple source portations of their Gold Source counterparts. DE Piranesi, DE Gold Dust and DE Gold Dust 2 are these portations. The DE Dust and DE Dust 2 version without the addition of gold are early versions of the CSS maps we know today. The look of this game is of course very unpolished and raw, but you can clearly see the transition from Gold Source to Source. Let's compare. The biggest difference here of course is the water. The actual map geometry mostly remains the same in this example, but you can clearly see the development. In this example I excluded Condition 0, since Condition 0 is mostly the same. The featured weapons are the same as in 1.6 or CSS, with the exception of the tactical shield, but more about that in the previous episode. An interesting side note, the weapons do not have their correct icons. They are all paired up with a random Half-Life 2 beta icon. For example, according to the icon, I am currently wielding a Tau cannon, this little baby, actually a gun from Half-Life 1. As you may have noticed, some of the world brushes rapidly disappear and appear again on the corners of my field of view. Like I mentioned, this source build is very unstable, and besides these visual errors, the game tends to crash quite often, usually when it comes to longer contact with an enemy. But crashes aside, it is possible to play this game. There is even a very basic bot AI, which only seems to work on DE Dust to a certain extent. On all other maps, the bots stick around in the spawn and occasionally jump, but what they lack in movement they make up with their aim. They are extremely deadly even with a pistol. And I guess that's cause of their strange way of holding the pistol. You see, Ivan, when you hold pistol like me, you shall never shoot the inaccurate, because of fear of shooting fingers. What is also quite strange about the bots, as soon as they spawn in the first round they seem to throw around grenades randomly, which is a bit dangerous. And back to the topic of movement, jumping in general seems to be the preferred method of movement. I don't know why they do it, they just do, and it looks quite stupid. Oh, and if you're wondering, this game has crosshairs and not only on sniper rifles, it's just barely visible. There it is. But even with a barely visible crosshair, either I am the worst gunner of all times, or this bot has increased health. I guess a bit of both. And to end the video, some trivia. By the time this alpha was worked on, it was in development at Turtle Rock Studios, the company that worked on Counter-Strike Condition 0 simultaneously. I hope you enjoyed this little look into Counter-Strike's past. Don't forget to check out the other episodes of the cut content of Counter-Strike or some of our other videos. See you next time. Till then, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye and guten Tag.